Morning, welcome back to the channel. You don't have to adjust the brightness on your screen. It is a little dark out. I'm getting an early start this morning. Yeah, it's about 5:30 in the morning. It's actually kind of a foggy morning here. Long day, but got my coffee, so we're in good shape. We'll make it through. Cold brew, actually. This isn't hot coffee. I don't drink hot stuff. More into the cold brew variety. You know, I never touched the stuff for the first 29 years of my life. Then when our first son Eli was born, I realized how important coffee is to get moving. When I wasn't sleeping through the night anymore and still trying to work long hours, discovered coffee, and well, I guess it's my drug addiction. But I brew my own cold brew. It's pretty good stuff. So I guess like most of the population now, I can't go without it. Let's get into the shop. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought about skipping a video this week. Like normal around here, I just got so much going on, and I have 3 orders that got to get out the door this week, and I say it all the time. I got too much stuff going on, and I thought, maybe I'll just drop a video this week and get some stuff done. But on the way in today, I figured, you know what? I got the camera, I got the coffee. Let's get it done. I know there's some of you guys that this has become part of your weekly routine on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I do appreciate all the feedback. So I figured if you take the time to watch, I'm going to take the time to make it. So what am I working on this week? Birch countertops. This is a small section. I got 2 bigger sections over in the other shop, and I'll show you in a little bit. I got pine and pine and pine going. Let's turn on another light here. Ironically, I've never made these exact spec pine boards before. I've made tons and tons of V-groove. This stuff's 1 inch thick. I'll show you some that's actually already done. So this is this is 1 inch thick. So I've never made that before. Ironically, I have 2 orders that are exactly the same. 1 inch thick by 5 inch wide by 10 foot long. Both are being used for the exact same thing. Roof sheathing on like a post and beam pavilion. It's weird how that works, that I've never made it before. And then I have 2 orders exactly the same, going to 2 completely different people for the same use. I don't know, just thought that was a strange coincidence, but it's actually nice because I batch them both together. But anyway, where I left off, actually Friday, because today's Monday. Not when you're seeing it, it's not, but it is for me. Another reason for the coffee, I guess. Started planing up these birch countertops to finish them, getting them out the door, and I know my planer knives were getting a little dull because I've been running a ton of material through there, and I knew they were due for sharpening. I tried to push a little bit and get this job done. Not happening. There's a little bit of tear out going on. Birch is a tough wood. Birch is very hard. I actually really like birch. It's an underappreciated wood. It's very similar in density to hard maple and oak. Most people don't realize how hard it is. And it's a very nice, tight, fine-grained wood. It's beautiful for cutting boards and butcher blocks, and I just don't think it gets the appreciation it deserves. You know, everybody likes maple, and it's another good alternative for a fine-grained wood. It's got a nice pink color to it, just really sharp. But it's tough to plane, just like maple can be. Maple is prone to tear out too. So I started planing this. I didn't like what I was seeing, so I stopped, and I'm gonna sharpen my planer blades, and hopefully with nice new sharp knives on it, it'll go much nicer, and I'll have a much nicer finish on this. So that's my first job of the day here this morning. I'm gonna pop the dust hood off there and get to sharpening. Not that you can tell, but yeah, they're getting a little dull. Kind of do the feel test. If you can do that and you don't go, ooh, I shouldn't rub my thumb against that, yeah, they're not that sharp. Thousands of feet of wood through here. So I'm gonna get my grinder set up and I'm gonna start grinding. There's a nick over here somewhere that I gotta make sure I grind out. It's leaving a line on the boards. Okay, maybe like right there. Not my favorite job, but it's all part of it. So I forgot I needed a 3/4 inch socket to mount the grinder. Had to make a walk down to the other shop and grab that. I'm actually going to be out on the tree farm most of the day today. That's why I'm in here starting early. Get a jump start on some lumber work in the morning. Be out all day in the field. Then this afternoon I'll be back to finish up with some more lumber work. You probably hear that whistling in the background. That's my dad. He's out already putting on our first fungicide application on Douglas fir with a mist blower sprayer. It has a big fan on it, kind of makes a whistling noise. So he got an early start this morning too. Now I'm back. Now I can get something done. So I have a whole video on sharpening these knives, so I'm not going to bore you with detail here. You can go back and look that up if you want an in-depth of what I'm doing here. But yeah, basically on this Northfield you can grind the planer knives right in the head. So I don't have to remove the knives, which is really nice. Does a really accurate job. You know, I walked all the way down there and got a socket. I didn't get a ratchet. Did I mention it was a Monday morning? Yeah, it's gonna be one of those starts. I don't think that's gonna be enough. I'll be back. I got everything set up, dialed in. Got my trusty little drill attachment. If you saw the last video of when I sharpened here, saved my arm about 1,000 cranks. So I get this set up. I'll get the grinding here. I'll show you a little glimpse, but this is probably, I know it's very boring for me to do this job, so I can only imagine it's very boring for you guys to watch. So I'm not going to bore you with it. I'll get to grinding. I'll bring you back here once I got it all wrapped up and we're ready to plane some wood. everything ground. I got to do the final step, the jointing, and I'll tell you what, no matter how many times I do this, it still makes me a little bit nervous. You're about to see why. Let me hit the power. So you can probably see why I'm not a huge fan of that. There's just something really intimidating about this huge cutter head spinning wide open right in front of you. But got her done. Everything's jointed up nice. These knives are looking really, really sharp. So that's all set. Hoping to get a glass smooth finish with that. I'm gonna button this back up. I'm going out on the tree farm. I'll bring you guys back in about 8 hours. I'm back. It is far too late in the day to be hoofing these things around. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Whew. Yeah, and if you're thinking I got way too much stuff in here, you're right. It is an absolute mess. I gotta get rid of some of this stuff, get it out the door. Sorry, I'm a little winded. These are the big sections. I got 2 of them, 20 inches wide, 8 foot long. You're looking at the undersides. That's why they look a little bit rough. So I'm gonna run these through the planer, get the bottoms flat, flip them, plane the top. It's been one of those Mondays around here. I thought about just glossing over this part, but I figured, well, if I'm making a video, I might as well show you the way things really go. So I went to start this. It's running absolutely fine before I sharpen the knives. Go to feed a piece through, and about halfway through it just stops feeding. And I noticed the top feed roll here wasn't spinning. I thought, uh-oh, that is not good. Well, here what happened. The key has slipped off the shaft. The set screw must have loosened up and it walked its way out, and this is just spinning here. So luckily a simple fix. I kind of was nervous for a second because I thought it could be something much more involved than that, but a simple fix. I'll be up here and running in a couple minutes. But when you're in a hurry to get stuff done, isn't this always what happens? I had a drive shaft come apart on the one tractor today. Had to kind of weld the carrier hanger back. It was a mess. It was a mess, but it's just same deal. You're trying to get stuff done, and of course stuff never breaks when you're not using it. So if you want to see what the inner workings of a Northfield Planer look like, it's actually a really neat mechanism. So there's a motor there on the bottom and a gearbox, a clutch, a vertical shaft, and then these 2 gearboxes. I think these are Branham gearboxes are called, and they actually slide up and down on that vertical shaft so they can be adjusted, obviously, you know, with height and as the feed rolls take up slack. And obviously they just turn chains, one for the bottom roll, or one for the top roll, one for the bottom roll, because this has powered bottom rollers, which is an absolutely wonderful feature on the planer. If you never get yourself a planer with powered bottom rollers, is the best thing. Makes feeding wood so much nicer. But now I'm digressing. Let me get this back together, get this done so I can get out of here. So this came out pretty nice. There's still a little bit of tear out.
which I'm not thrilled about.
Honestly, this is the first time in the, it's a little over a year I've been running this Northfield planer. I kind of wish I had a spiral head. My old planer did, and I traded for this one with the straight knives, and I love it. This is the one situation where tear out's been a problem. And certain woods, there's just not a whole lot you can do about it. It's just the way the grain runs through the wood. Problem with these cutting boards, butcher block, whatever you want to call it, the grains run in all different ways in each one of these strips. So like this is dead smooth. If I turn this around, I'd probably get tear out here, and this would be dead smooth. So that's a trade-off. I do have a trick up my sleeve though. What I'm going to do next, I wanted to get this done today, but it's probably not going to happen, because what I'm going to do is go over this very carefully, and like at this joint here, there's a little crack. I'm going to hit it with some color matched wood filler. Where do I got that? I've showed this before in my video on how I make these butcher blocks. I use this Minwax color matched wood filler. I've been using it for years. It comes in all different colors, so you can pretty much find a tone for whatever wood you're using. And I'll just go along here, and if I see a little gap here or there, you know, I'll just fill it in. So I'm going to do that now and let it dry overnight. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this through my big drum sander. And the drum sander will clean this up real nice and take that out. It's a shame because you can see here, I mean, the planer is leaving an absolutely beautiful finish. I mean, glass smooth, super nice. If I could get that uniform, I wouldn't have to sand it. But since I want this to be really nice, I'm going to take the extra step. I'm going to run it through the sander. So that's going to happen at 5:30 tomorrow morning. You're probably going to want to sleep in. So we're going to call it quits on this. I'm going to cut that stack of pine behind me for the last half hour here to fill in the day and get this all wrapped up, get this shop cleaned up. I got a really neat project coming up probably next week. I'm going to start on that. That one I'm really excited to show you. It's something I haven't done before on camera, and it's one of my favorite things to do. So that's a little bit of a teaser. Stick around. That's going to be a really neat video coming out here in a few weeks. But yeah, for now, hopefully you enjoyed coming along with me today. It's been a long day. It's hot out. It's our first day here in the 80s, so I'll be happy to go home and have a cold drink. So catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.